been through the pain of colonialism, and today we're going through colonialism, neo-colonialism, in the sense that what I'm trying to say is that there was a time when we saw the white man, our colonial powers, as our enemies. But I think, no, not that I think, something that is worse than an enemy is a traitor. Yes. And when we won our freedom, some of our countries were led by some of the most noble nationalists, of our time. But at the same time, with the passage of time, some of them became treacherous and rather betrayed our aspirations. In effect, what I'm trying to say is that as bad as an enemy can be, I think something worse than an enemy is a traitor. I think something worse than an enemy.
Now, to better understand what Jerry John Rawlings was saying, let us look at this video and see Akufo-Addo, the Ghanaian president, the then ECOWAS chair, see who he was reporting back to, and ask yourself whether he's accountable to the people of Africa in the West African sub-region, or he's accountable to the U.S. Secretary of State, and ask yourself, who does he actually work for? And you see what Jerry John Rawlings is trying to say.
Significance for us, and I think that beyond everything, that is a matter that I want to urge upon you. Today, Russian mercenaries are on our northern border. Burkina Faso has now entered into an arrangement to go along with Mali in employing the Wagner forces there. I believe a mine in southern Burkina has been allocated to them as a form of payment for their services. Prime Minister of Burkina Faso in the last 10 days has been in Moscow. And to have them operating on our northern border is particularly...
Hi guys, without passing judgment or trying hard to shape anyone's opinion, I think from the look on the faces of all those present at the meeting is enough to convey a message. And now, let us examine what he will come out and tell the public after the indoor discussion, and analyze for yourself.
Story. Ladies and gentlemen, as the saying goes, nothing succeeds like success. If we work at it, if we stop being beggars and spend Africa's monies inside the continent, Africa would not need to ask for respect from anyone. We would get the respect we deserve.
Make no mistake about it, a man cannot be separated from his words. You just saw what he said during the indoor discussion, but he came out immediately to give such a beautiful Pan-African speech to give hope and aspiration to the people. So it means what's going on is deliberate. It's not as if he made a mistake by what he discussed indoors, and he was saying a totally different thing when he came out, as if he believes in the African ideology, he's a Pan-Africanist, and that he cares about the future of Africa. No, it doesn't work that way. Now, let us think about William Ruto. He also made so many beautiful Pan-African speeches about we having our own currency, having a fair trade with the global leaders, we should be treated as equal. He cares about Africans. But look, Africa was once colonized, enslaved, and now we are still going through new colonialism, as Rawlings rightfully put it. But this guy was trying to side with an apartheid state. I won't mention any state, you yourself you know. But we being through the pain of colonialism, apartheid, and slavery, at least you should know better that Africa will always side with the oppressed, not with the oppressor. So look, I don't know what's wrong with our leaders. So it's not the West. The West are not our enemies. At least they are always working for their own interest and the interest of their people. But it is our leaders that fail to look for our interests whenever they go on a global stage.
I don't know if President William Ruto means it, because he said so many things and I can't locate him these days, because the things he said during election and the things he's doing now are two different things. I don't know, because I heard him saying we need to do away with the dollar and build our own currency. But his actions are not speaking to anything of doing away with the dollar. The latest being putting a red carpet for a murderer, a person who killed the Kenyan people, coming into this country, receiving a red carpet and being saluted by our own army.
Challenges that are going on between Israel and Palestine. We believe that no, terrorism cannot be an answer to any conflict. Neither is occupation. We believe that Palestine should be a free state, and we stand for a two-nation solution as a means of resolving the conflict in that region. And thank you very much for your participation and convening this meeting. I thank you.
We've been through the pain of colonialism, and today we're going through colonialism, neo-colonialism, in the sense that what I'm trying to say is that there was a time when we saw the white man, our colonial powers, as our enemies. But I think, no, not that I think, something that is worse than an enemy is a traitor. Yes. And when we won our freedom, some of our countries were led by some of the most noble nationalists, of our time. But at the same time, with the passage of time, some of them became treacherous and rather betrayed our aspirations. In effect, what I'm trying to say is that as bad as an enemy can be, I think something worse than an enemy is a traitor.